Ladies and gentlemen, we have achieved a milestone, have we not? For the third time in my YouTube career, I've got 1,000 subscribers. I want to say a massive thank you to a few people. The first one is Warren Hardy for being my 1,000th subscriber. Good work, dude, good work. Always fun to chat to ye on MSN. I want to thank basically everyone who is subscribed to me. There are people out there in the world that I know are subscribed to me that I know I don't like. I won't mention any names, but there are people out there that are subscribed to me that I'm just like, how the fuck is this guy subscribed to me? How? Why? This guy claims to hate me. Yeah, if you are subscribed to me, thank you very much. If you're not, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to me, what is wrong with you? Think about what I do for you. Ladies and gentlemen of the world, I watch the worst wrestling pay-per-views to give you entertainment. I watch them so that you don't have to. I throw in the occasional botch in there so Danny Ace can have a good giggle at me for the next year. See my last video if you don't know what I'm on about. Yeah, so 1,000 subscribers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through for ye Marc P recommends. Now these are all available on my channel. I'm just going to go through why I recommend these people. These are the vids I watch. Anytime these people put a vid up and it's in my subscription box, it's like, yes, new video from X, and I'll go and watch them. But before I do that, just want to say, for those of you who are wondering, I applied for a partnership when I got my 900 subscribers, so it's probably a couple of months ago now. I haven't heard anything at all from YouTube. So I'm going to take that as a bad sign, because at the end of the day, I have got my my account warning on this account. I got just the one, remember, when Max Carnage decided to spoil my WrestleMania review by showing a picture of Randy Orton's penis, which he had on his phone. Cheers for that one, Max. Yeah, cheers for that. That expires, by the way, in 6 months. Yeah, it takes 6 months. It stays on your account for 6 months. 6 months is in 2 weeks' time. So, back then, we'll have a clean account. The problem is, if you apply for a partnership, you can't apply again for another 2 months. So, we'll get it though, don't you worry. We will get that partnership again. Oh yes. So, these are the video makers that I recommend and why. So, at the top of the list are RHETT and Link. RHETT and Link make the funniest vids on YouTube, in my opinion. They are seriously talented people, in my opinion. They make songs. They do comedy vids. So their songs, seriously, I have them stuck in my head so often. There's a tune they did a while back. It's called the Sham Wow song. If you've seen the Sham Wow commercial, you'll know all about Sham Bloody Wow. They're rubbish, by the way, I've been told. But they did a song where they used the Sham Wow advert, and they put all the words into it and made a song out of it. And it's just fucking superb. It's so very clever. Yeah, very talented. Very, very good musically. Very, very funny guys. They've got 2 channels. And I've got links to both of them on my channel and down here, because they've got a second channel which is where they put up vlogs and stuff like that. Yeah, very, very entertaining people, and really great guys as well, really nice. So next is the first wrestling, well, it's probably the only wrestling fed on here, and this is AGW Wrestling, anything goes wrestling. There are a lot of backyard feds out there, 99.9% of them nowadays, now that I don't backyard, and now that I'm just not interested in backyarding in the slightest, really. 99.9% of them I truly couldn't give a shit about. I truly don't. I mean, I don't even watch 2KW anymore. They were my favourite fed. I don't watch them anymore, by the way, because they've got a ring. As stupid as that may sound, like, oh yeah, you should probably be thinking, oh, good work, yeah, you've got a ring. I'm just not interested in that sort of entertainment. I liked them when they were a backyard fed, you know. 2K, I mean, not 2KW, I've just talked about that. AGW stands for Anything Goes Wrestling, and these guys are beyond funny. Literally anything. If you're into British humour, if you're into things like Monty Python, things like that slapstick comedy, but just the most quality wrestling you're going to see. They're wrestling, you know, they've got a ring, by the way. I know it's probably double standard, I know, but their wrestling is amazing. Their shows are superb. I wish I found out about these guys a couple of years ago, because I literally would have been begging them to be a part of their show. They're based in Essex, which probably meant that I wouldn't have been able to be part of their show, but I probably at that time would have done anything just to be a manager, just to take a couple of bumps for them, because like I say, I like to think that I inject comedy into my vids. I like to try and make you people laugh when you're watching one of my videos, and you know, I could have injected that into their fed. I'm sure of it. So yeah, Anything Goes Wrestling. They're very, very, very good. Best backyard fan in this country by a country mile. Next, my good old friend, Extreme Dave. Extreme Dave is a genuinely awesome video maker. He is funny. If you watch his video, you're guaranteed laughs. I find it criminal that guy hasn't got more subscribers, to be honest. Though I do like to rub it in that I've always had more than him. Even when I got this account, I was just like, hey Dave, by the way, I know, a month later, I'm like, I've got more subscribers than you. Yeah, just spent the weekend with Dave. This past weekend, just gone. And yeah, he's still absolutely amazing and still mental. His love of wrestling is amazing. Very, very funny guy. The WWE review guys are fucking brilliant. They really are fucking brilliant. Yeah, they make such good vids that, well, you don't need to watch Raw or SmackDown at all. You can get everything you need to know what happened on the shows just by watching these two. Or one, when there was just one of them on their own. They're back having the two of them now, which I think is better personally, but you know what I mean. Yeah, these two, like I say, if you miss a Raw, if you don't, oh no, I missed Raw, just watch these guys. You get every bit of information you could possibly need from watching their vid. Happily go and watch them. Go and subscribe to them. Next, a lot of you know, a lot I'm sure you don't know. I'm a big Formula 1 fan. And I believe the best Formula 1 guys here on YouTube are the Australian Formula 1 podcast. These two are, again, Pep and Max. Their names are. They're funny. They've got a very dry, sarcastic sense of humour, which is a godsend for someone like me, because I love that. Sarcasm for me is just the absolute best. The absolute best thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. These two are great. They're very passionate about F1. They don't make as many vids as I'd like them to, if I'm honest. If it was up to me, they'd make more vids. But they have lives, and I think they're both lawyers. They both have quite high-paid, high-profile jobs, So understandable, they don't make as many vids as they probably could, but I wish they'd make more. But yeah, watch every single one of the things that they do. They're both brilliant. Next, KBAR. Crunching Up KBAR is the channel name. KBAR, of course, I wrestled in UBW. He's an SNW wrestler as well. Basically, his vids are about Pokemon cards. And I know that probably doesn't sound very appealing, but his vids are so funny, you wouldn't believe it. And of course, K-Bar, his real name is Ryan. He is such a nice guy. He's one of those guys that I want to be in touch with for the rest of my life. UBW, been and gone. No, don't really care about most of the people who I work with in UBW. But Ryan is one of those ones I speak to any chance I get on MSN. And I've told him recently, me and you, we're not done, not by a long shot. I've got business with K-Bar. That Champagne needs to settle. So one day there will be some sort of interaction between me and him again. That's for sure. Next, Wrestling Jesus. Wrestling Jesus is one of the funniest people you could ever see. When he does a vid, the thing about him is he just attracts. Wrestling Jesus attracts controversy because he does these vids. 10 reasons why ECW sucks. 10 reasons why Ring of Honor sucks. And I don't know if they're just for the laughs, but I genuinely believe that they're just for laughs, and they're just to get people angry and make you go, how dare you say this about my favourite Fed? And if you react like that, I think Wrestling Jesus has done his work. I really do. Here's a tale of caution though: don't let him do a vid on you. Because two things will happen. The first one, when he did a vid on me, I got 60 subscribers out of it. The bad side, the flip side of it, is he absolutely trashed me. Whereas some people will come out, haters will come out and do a vid on me saying, you're fat, you've got stupid hair, yada 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 yada. This guy will literally get to ground root level and he will bury you. He will just destroy you. So you sat there with like a quivering mess going, great vids though. Absolutely love watching his vids. Absolutely love him. Only a few more, I promise. Next, True Slayer. True Slayer is the reason I do these vids. True Slayer is, in my opinion, the best YouTube shooter on YouTube. Amazingly. YouTube shooter on YouTube. Amazing. It'd be cool if I put one YouTube shooter on Dailymotion. Haha! That's funny. True Slayer makes the best videos, in my opinion. Yes, sometimes they can be very, very long-winded. And you're like, come on, get on with it. But I believe what he's saying. He knows about what he's. Yeah, he's at the end of the day, he's been watching wrestling for as long as I've been alive. So you know, he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. I respect his opinion. I think he's a genuinely nice guy. Had a few conversations with him on Skype back in the day, and yeah, he's nice. He's a great guy. A lot of time for him. He mentions me quite a lot, which is nice. I like that. I like the fact that he still watches my vids. Brilliant. Next is NUTTYROCKCHICK. NUTTYROCKCHICK. NUTTYROCKCHICK is a great girl. I love her personality. Her personality is so goddamn infectious. It's brilliant. You know, she's so bubbly. You talk to her on Skype, and what you see on vids is what you get from her. She's such a bubbly, warm personality. Such a lovely person as well. There isn't enough women shooters, you know? A stupid way of saying it. Anyway, yeah, there isn't enough women who review wrestling or talk about wrestling out there, and there should be more. There should be way more. And of the ones that there are out there, NUTTYROCKCHICK is the best by a country mile. She's so fantastic. If you want to see an example of her, of how good she is, yeah, go and watch her Death Before Dishonor 8 review. It's fucking brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. This is a girl who has never watched Ring of Honor before. She watches her first Ring of Honor pay-per-view, makes the video within 10 minutes of watching it, and it's like. Yeah, and I've told her this. She acts like a complete mark. It's like, have you seen yourself on that vid? But the thing is, I don't care. I don't mind that at all. It's like, yeah, this girl's just been hooked, hook, line, and sinker by Ring of Honor, and she'll be watching Ring of Honor for the rest of her days, probably. Yeah, that's a good thing. Great girl, really nice to talk to as well. Next, DANTESAVAGE. Now, me and DANTESAVAGE have had. Oh no, the boys from DANTESAVAGE have had problems back in the day. In 2008 we had words, but yeah, that's all behind us now, and I love their bits. They're so sarcastic, it's brilliant. The sarcasm and the way they rip the living tar out of TNA, I love it. Every time they make a vid, especially with TNA bashing, it's like, oh, just bow down to these guys. I diss TNA from time to time. These guys mercilessly bury and own TNA. You know, they did a vid recently about Dixie Carter. That was just one of the best burial vids I've ever seen. The way they rip on Russo and Hogan and, well, everyone in TNA. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I wish they'd do them for WWE, if I'm honest. I wish they'd not just bash TNA. I wish they'd just bash any wrestling they can find. But, you know, if they must stick to TNA, that's fair enough. And lastly, but oh, there's no means by leastly, MAFFEW's Japanese Table, aka the Botchamania series. I'm pretty certain that 99% of you who are watching this now are subscribed to the Botchamania series. They make me laugh. If you're having a bad day, you can put them on and just go, aha, at least I'm not that guy. Ha ha ha. Brilliant, brilliant vids. It's gutting that his vids keep getting suspended, keep getting pulled down. It really is. I mean, surely the WWE, just leave him be. Just leave him be. Just leave him alone. There are many, many, many other channels that I'm subscribed to, because I'm subscribed to what? I'm subscribed to what, 70 channels? Something like that. Something like that. I haven't actually got it on my channel, believe it or not. Yeah, but those ones are the ones where anytime they upload a video, I go and watch that vid straight away. So you should go and subscribe to them all. I put links to every single channel down there. Go watch, go subscribe. I am Marc P, and I've now got 1,000 subscribers. I want 2,000, so if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, hit the button, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your nan. I'm sure she'd love my vids. I'm absolutely certain of it, in fact. I've been Marc P, and there's more to come, yeah. Take it easy.